I think what people maybe fail to appreciate about building new communities is just how abnormal it is. Most places that evolve naturally have a reason for being there, whether that was a crossroads or a particular marketplace or a particular set of physical conditions. And to come along and try and do that from scratch is actually a very weird thing to do. And I think to try and solve the housing crisis, we need to be a bit humble and have a bit of consciousness about just how abnormal a task we're setting ourselves and go into it with that spirit. The government has set themselves a very ambitious target of delivering 1.5 million homes within this Parliament. And one of the tools for achieving that, among many other tools, is new settlements and garden communities. These are big projects, they're delivered at scale, they are complex and they come with a number of issues, but the benefit is being able to deliver a large number of homes in one location.
Community has always been at the heart of how we need to conceive of new places, but I think we'd be more successful perhaps in bringing forward homes, but not necessarily creating places where people want to come together, where they can be, where you can get to know your neighbours, where you can go to a cafe together. Regrettably, there's a lot of examples in the UK of significant endeavours to build new places where we've built 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 new homes, but we've not yet managed to get a single retail element surviving or thriving.
So retail and commercial used to be incredibly profitable. There was a time in the 90s and early 2000s where you could build shops and retail stores really easily. Investors loved them, there was funding for that kind of thing. And that just isn't the situation now. And I think some of the thinking that we have within the industry hasn't quite caught up with that.
Some of the challenges include government policy, conflicting government policy, the presence of committees, maybe over-exuberant committees, difficulties with costs and viability, increasing costs associated with technical challenges, and of course, quality. How do we deliver quality at scale to enable us to deliver the new communities of tomorrow?
To deliver something of a really high quality, you have to be very mindful of the real market situation that you're operating within and not over-design and over-promise and under-deliver, but rather think very carefully about how you can right-size development, how you can create flexible units that can weather, market challenges or accommodate different occupiers, and basically think really entrepreneurially and really flexibly about the kind of centres that we're able to deliver in these places.
Sibson Garden Community will deliver 4,500 houses, a new town centre, health and leisure facilities, new schools, biodiversity and green open space, and superb connectivity. It's strategically located within the Oxford-Cambridge Growth Corridor. It is in a superb location in Cambridgeshire, in Huntingdonshire, very close to Peterborough, which is one of the UK's fastest growing cities. We're proposing to invest hundreds of millions of pounds to deliver new homes, economic growth and new jobs, and to build a new community. A key part of Sibson Garden Community is Eco Dynamo. This is a major innovation hub which will be focused on green energy, EV charging and new technologies of the future, all of which are being developed now by Phoenix Sustainable Investments.
So for me, community in the built environment is very and deeply personal. I live in a small village. I set up a community land trust. I built 8 homes to the village on air source heat pumps 14 years ago. And then about 8 years ago, set up the first rural district heat network in the country, providing hot water for homes in the village. We're absolutely passionate about finding like-minded people who also share our values to help them. So we're working with communities with PPA agreements on their own energy that they may be generating locally, but then we could be looking at community scale developments such as district heat networks. But then we've been working with streets, looking at how we can decarbonise them together. And most recently, we've got a district heat project that we're looking at working with the local community in terms of seeing them transition away from gas to electric heating.
We have a challenge in this country with an inability to deliver enough affordable homes. That means not enough people are getting access to the sort of homes that we need in order to be able to build a community. So how can we get there? Well, ultimately, it's going to take government investment. There's never been a time when the private sector, the market, delivered the levels of affordable homes that were delivered when the government were responsible for delivering affordable homes. Investment in other ways is also important. You need to build a community from the outset. That means infrastructure needs to be in, it means community buildings need to be in, it means places where people can meet once they've moved into their home are already there. If you don't have that, you don't have people talking, you don't have people investing in their own place, you don't have pride of place, and pride of place makes a community.
The important work of the New Towns Taskforce in identifying the next generation of new towns, those of over 10,000 new homes, is underpinned by a compelling opportunity to bring forward smaller but still significant settlements and garden villages that will make a significant contribution to delivering those overall housing numbers.
I think when I think about my role in all of this as an urban designer and as a planner, you're bringing together a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different pieces of information and trying to balance those to get to a good outcome. The needs of the surrounding community, the prospective needs of new residents, it's what the local authority might want, it's what some of the technical information might be leading you to, and you kind of have to bring all of that together and metabolize it and alchemize it into something that has a degree of simplicity to it. You need to be able to communicate that as an idea. So you need a concept that has strength to it and that can stand the test of time in that way to get from a place of huge complexity down to something that has longevity to it.
Building a new community isn't easy. We have the opportunity to create new places, game-changing, industry-leading, award-winning new communities, sustainable and resilient new communities, places that people will call home and have pride in, real pride in place. More biodiversity, more alive. This is a big opportunity. This is placemaking at its very, very best.